All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm just going to go over a couple of genetics questions that I thought you guys might have had some trouble on. All right. Um, can everyone hear me right now? There's a couple of people coming on. So what I want you guys to do is we're actually going to do the last two pages because I think that's where a lot of us had problems with. Okay. So I'm going to later today, I'm going to basically give you guys the answers for the multiple choice. But then after that, we're going to kind of move on to the next topic. And I'm going to put the notes up online, and then we'll go over it on Friday. And I'll give you guys an assignment for the weekend, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we are actually going to start at question 14, okay? So it gives you, we're basically making a Punnett square, all right? So before we do that Punnett square, we have to actually find out what the choices are. So you're going to get big D, little d, d, little d, okay? Now, if some of you ended up getting the Punnett square wrong, but you got all the questions right, I gave you all the credit, okay? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to bring everything down. And then you're going to bring everything across. All right? So that's just the Punnett square that we make, all right? Now, remember, it's saying that capital D is black and white body. All right. Now, if you only have a lowercase d, that's going to be the brown body. All right. And we're talking about cows. And if you think about it in your own, okay, usually you see a black and a white cow more than you see a brown cow. So that's why black and white, dominant. Okay. So what we're going to do now, all right, is we're going to answer number 14. It's asking for what is the genotype of the 4 offsprings. Remember, the genotype is the actual gene, okay? So we actually have 3 of them, all right? You get capital D, capital D. The other one, the other option you can get. So there's only 3 options that you can get. You can get capital, capital, lowercase, and then 2 lowercases. Those are the only things you can get out of this, okay? So that's number 14. Now, number 15, it's asking you what is the phenotype of the 4 offspring, okay? So remember, when we're talking about phenotype, we're talking about the actual physical characteristics. So for this, you're either black and white or your brown body, okay? So for this, you got 2 capital D's. That's going to be black and white. All right. Capital D, lowercase d, you still have a dominant letter. So that's still black and white. And then the other one, you got 2 lowercase d, so that's going to be your brown body. All right. So those are the only 2 phenotypes you can get. You're either brown or you're black and white cow. All right. All right. Now, number 16. It is asking you, what is the percent that the offspring will be homozygous recessive? So, Brian, if you got all the questions right, you don't have to watch now. But I might have gave you credit for some of them that you might have got wrong. All right, so 16. What is the percent of the offspring that is homozygous recessive? So remember, homozygous, that's the same, right? And recessive, that is our lowercase. So we look at this, we only have 1 that is homozygous, the same, and it's recessive. So if it's 1 out of 4, okay, the percent is 25%. All right. Josue, I put your test grade on Power School. I don't know it off the top of my head. Okay. What is the percent of the offspring will be heterozygous? All right. So heterozygous, that is opposite. Okay. So you're looking for a capital and a lowercase. You look, there's two of them, capital and lowercase. So it's 2 out of 4. And if each of these boxes is 25%, you're going to have 50%. Okay. So that's that one. Now we go to 18. Okay. So what is the ratio of homozygous dominant to heterozygous recessive? Okay. So now we got to do the whole ratio thing. So it's going to be like a fraction, all right? So homozygous dominant. So we're looking for the same capital letter. So we got 1. So we're doing 1, right? Ratio. Now the next thing is heterozygous. So that means there's 2 opposite. So now we have 2 of them. Okay. And then the last one is homozygous recessive. And we have 1. So it's 1, 2, and 1. Okay. Now 19. What is the percent that the offspring will express the dominant gene? So to show the dominant gene, okay, as long as you have one uppercase letter, that is a dominant gene. So we're looking at it. We have an uppercase, uppercase, uppercase. So it's going to be 75%. What is the fraction of purebred offspring? So when we're talking about purebred, means basically the same thing as homozygous, all right? 2 capital letters. So for number 20, it's going to be 25%. Okay, because there's only one box of 2 uppercase letters. What is the fraction of carrier cow offspring? So for this, we're seeing who's carrying that recessive gene. So we have 2 of them. So for that, I'm going to bring this over so we can see 21, all right, is 2 out of 4, which is 50%. And the last one, okay, 22. What is the phenotype of the genotype is D, capital D, lowercase d. So we're asking you if the genotype, right, that is the actual letters. You got D, capital D, lowercase d. What is the phenotype for that? So as long as there's a capital D, you're going to have your black and white body. So black and white. All right. And that is all of them. Okay. So that's that one page. So now what I'm going to do is before I erase this, does anyone have any questions on this one? Any questions at all? No? Okay. All right, so I'm going to erase this. And now I'm quickly going to make this thing. So we got that. This comes out. I'm doing this as quickly as I can for this one page. All right, so we get something like that. Okay, that's what our page looks like. I know mine's a little sloppy, but we get the idea. Okay. What's going on, Christian? All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go through questions 23 to 32. Okay. All right, so how many males are affected? So we have to look at our key. Okay. And our key on our page, it's saying that affected is fully shaded in. Now, we also know that males, okay, bring this up a little bit. All right, so males are squares. All right, our circles are females. That's what we know, okay? So, what we're going to do, all right, is we are going to count how many males that are fully shaded in, all right? So we're looking, he's not affected, he's not affected. We got 1, we got 2. So for number 23, all right, we have 2, okay? Now let's look at 24. 24 is asking us how many females are affected. So now we're going to look for circles that are completely shaded in. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we actually have more females affected, all right, with this trait, this genotype, than we do with males, okay? So now 25, we're looking at how many females are carriers. So our carriers are which are halfway shaded in. So every time we see something where it's halfway, and I drew it with blue so we can see the difference, that's what we're looking for. So 25, how many females are carriers? So let's say we got 1, 2, we only got 2. All right. Now let's do 26, where it's asking the same question, but now it's asking for males. So we got 1, 2, that's it. Same number, 2. Okay, now this is the other part of the question where I saw a lot of you were just giving me affected male or unaffected female and stuff, okay? This is asking you how everything is related. Now remember, when we did our video last week, I told you to put a number at each one of these symbols, okay? So it's kind of like you're reading a book. You always start up at the top left and you work your way down. So what we're going to do is, okay, you're going to count. You got 1, 2, all right? Now you go all the way down to the next line. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get to the end, you go back. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 people in this family, okay? So we go to question 27, all right? It is asking us, how are number 1 and number 2 related, okay? So we got these two guys up here. So number 1, number 2, how are they related? I want you guys to answer it. How are they basically together? Why are they there? What are they? Who's out there? All right, they're married because they have the line going together. We got a female and a male married, okay? So now let's look at number 28. All right. So number 28, we are asking how are 4 and 5 related? So here's 4 and here's 5. All right. So 4 and 5, there's a line that's connecting both of them, and they're both on the same level, okay? So if you're on the same level and you got lines that are connecting it, all right, you're going to be siblings. So these are brother and sister. Okay, so we have a female and a male. All right. Number 29. How are number 11 and 7 related? So we have 11 over here. We have it being a male. And then number 7 is over here, which is also a male. So if you look, okay, you go back up this way. This is the parents of the offspring. You have the dad and the mom with their respect to the shape of their letter, okay? If you go back up again, these are all the siblings. So this is showing that this is your mom. This is one of her brothers. This is another one of her brothers. So what is the brother to you if you are this male? Okay. So it's basically, it's going to be uncle. All right. Uncle and nephew. Okay. How are number 3 and 6 related? So we go to 3, we go to 6. Okay. You could basically say they're brother and sister-in-law. That one was a tough one. I didn't really mark off if you guys got that wrong. All right. So brother / sister-in-law. Okay. All right. So number 31. How are number 8 and number 10 related? 8 and 10. Okay. So again, it's going to be a female and a female. That's your mom, sister. So it's going to be aunt, nephew, or a niece, I mean. Okay. And then the last one, how are number 9 and 2 related? 9 and 2. That would be son-in-law. Okay. So those are the answers for this. All right. Really quick. Does anyone have any questions on this page? While I go back to my chair. Any questions at all? No? All right. So guys, today we're going to do is, okay, what I'm going to assign is there's going to be 3 things. Okay. The first thing is we're going to change the topic, well, basically completely, because now we're going to be moving on to our next topic, which is going to be microscopes. Okay. I'm going to put up a PowerPoint slide on microscopes. All right. Just for now. Then, since it's Earth Day, okay, I'm going to put up an Earth Day video with a little assignment attached to it. And then the last thing is, for those of you that I kind of went a little bit too fast on, and since I didn't go over the multiple choice just to save some time, I'm going to give out the answer key for this. Okay. Now I see that some of you guys are doing the assignments now that you were missing. Okay. Remember, the quarter basically is over. So everything from this point forward is going to be new. All right. So we're going to start the microscopes. That's the newest thing for the quarter. All right. We're in the 4th quarter now. So if you're doing any of the old assignments, that's great, but it doesn't go into the 4th quarter. Okay. Yeah, Josue, this is the end. Does anyone have any questions before we sign off? All right, so that's the 3 things. You're going to get your Earth video, your answer key, and your PowerPoint slides on the microscopes. The 3 assignments. I looked at the Bill Nye. It didn't affect your grade, so you don't have to worry about that. When are the 3 assignments due? So basically, we're going to go over the microscopes on Friday, okay? The Earth assignment, I'm going to give it to you today, and I'll give you till Friday. And, the answer key is basically for you to check over it. When are we getting progress reports? Those were due yesterday, so those should be out and about in probably a week. Okay. For those of you guys that have been doing everything you're supposed to, your grade could only go up. So whatever your grade is on Power School, all right, which you guys can check, that's your grade. Okay. So those are the 3 things. So those are going to probably get up online at around 2 o'clock because I got to do the other video really quick. All right. Sounds good. Any other questions? All right, guys. I'll see you later. Okay. Yeah, the 8th grade video goes on at 1. So I'm going to get that set up for 8th grade, and then I will put you guys all your work on it too. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Same time on Friday. Okay. Bye.